Yeah, welcome. Good evening. And anyway, as I your best, most consistent analysis, sports analysis on YouTube. No, I'm a partner Debbie Adema on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Said, won't subscribe to the channel. I'm so subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Send me a content in your drop how you first to have it on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And maybe I come on. Yeah, well, Nema Bebre said you come. In fact, there have been about 4 or 5 separate breaking news in the last few hours. Since we are broadcast now, and yes, the La Liga for an issue of a point of view to Barcelona. For I'll explain that to you again. Team your friend Chelsea and Barca have clashed in a meeting over player who are pair for a very, very long time. They have clashed over some player. In fact, the likes of Arsenal, Money Adinano have come in and asked questions about this said winger. Chelsea and Barcelona, there be a lot of questions about it. As a conversation around the player, we'll talk about that over here for you. We'll speak about that as a Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There are a lot of things. Obviously, also there's a conversation of Chelsea for almost almost one player. There is a player of Chelsea or a striker Chelsea for I mean, I didn't expect that Chelsea for are going to sell this player. But let us not waste too much time. Come on. That was on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. First of all, Barca 4 have put the signing of a brand here, your friend Jonathan Tah on hold. And now Robert Catcher said, so Kaya since January, and Jonathan Tah won't sing some sorry. Giddy. Barca 4 need bisa questions. Maybe they want to sign Jonathan Tah no Krasen or Thielma, Oliver Kostin, or maybe bisa what the German shots. And of course, or a German just like Hansi Dieter Flick. So Christian Kwa, maybe they may bring Jonathan Tah into the squad. But just this morning, Yaya Piqué from Sport Mundo Deportivo, and of course AS Dario for Asimo Mokanese Barca for have held on the signing of our brand here, your friend Jonathan Tah into a team as it stands now until say understanding the situation well. And then, of course, over here, the future of our branch here, your friend Andreas Christensen. They will hold on the conversation around our branch here, your friend Jonathan Tah. But the big one, another way. Me and me tell me phone BP a couple of times, and me must subscribe to La Liga for on my news portal, and I pay every month. And me want to tell say me phone BP a couple of times because La Liga for the elected about bunting about the catcher Barca for say essentially in simple lingo say almost trusted Barca say VIP seats no more time almost saying that they cost 100 million legit and they will look into the deregistry or the federal registration of illegal branch friend Danny Olmo and what's the name Paul Victor. Oh, now let me explain to you. So a couple of months ago, January, Barca had elapsed on the time limit for having a branch friend Danny Olmo because they had registered him temporarily. Now I said Olmo had a re-registration date. Now before that registration date, my cousin said Barca in yes can be if you be able to in terms of finances. But that's kind of my own team to play a bit. Into Barca for a few deals be like Sporting 5 Camp Nou, the Karam Cotton VIP section, and the Coco Giska. Eddie be go motor be to books so trash okay fine ya ton internet sadia you bet me at the sales can ya ton their ship to take care of the wages of Danny Olmo so the your books in balance then they can get to baby and here can say Barca for do 1:1 rule now La Liga for very insistent on our Spanish La Liga 1:1 rule and of course by January we will make it our rule on face value do maybe La Liga for have you Tabas say he would have to look at it well. The Spanish Court of Arbitration in fact this week and the Spanish Court of Arbitration and the final verdict on the matter out as to if Barca Forum have what it takes to register Danny Olmo in January, and I say they can't trust them in terms of fans and something that is very, very important for Team Friend FC Barcelona. And I'm paying a message in the bar and I'm saying, hey Barca, I'm prepared to play Atletico de Madrid and then you may at the Civitas Wanda Metropolitano for a place in the Copa del Rey final. And I say we about the ball. But the simple thing is a La Liga for natural marking. almost almost trust you. Now Emma Reeves has some like I said in the final determination our court until second court for Becca Sebasa for no BB or Minty or ye than the old money power victory free lesson. So in terms of deregistration, nothing else can be done. Still Daniel Mo can play until second quarter and then the final determination. But what it means now is on La Liga books when there and now they are Barca for 1:1, only 1:1. In the summer before the Barca beton player they have to sell before so meeting do 1:1 rule or Hormeno. And Barca for manager your friend Juan Laporta has come out. He has come out to have an extensive conversation about their question. I say, and Uti Juan Laporta, I want to read it for you. In simple terms, as Juan Laporta can say, don't worry. We will respond back to La Liga. They want to attack interest. They approved the signings of Paulo Victor and Olmo. Now they have changed their minds. Why? Did they do a bad job in the first place when they approved the operation? Two, Don Laporta said, we are playing a key match tonight. And La Liga communicating this morning is strange. They can't beat us on the pitch, so they will act off it. Asema Juan Laporta can say, or share La Liga for now. Almost means stopping Barca or Park, so Barca shine a share. And it's decided I said La Liga for now faculty can be so and a changing trying. Almost better changing almost stopping Barca for now. Almost stop you off the pitch. One many idea or no Juan Laporta as a club president for a club the magnitude of football club Barcelona. On just here the entire La Liga for ASR and it's already they want to focus on an enemy match. Almost focus here. Then they will see. Say after that, number reply La Liga for over there, and I know Paul. Right after say the big news of Abrentia, your friend Juan Laporta and Barcelona, Daniel Money, Paulo Victor, and Sembayano. Then big one. There is a Catalan-based journalist on any colleague back or the Bax region, and then Paul. Your friend Ed Aarons now. Ed Aarons, extra Emma BBC, any football made in Africa book, or not trust our book, or you're based in the UK. Now, Ed Aarons see this week, Abra Arsenal for sporting director, your friend Andre Bata take you over the job. And I'll be added to the list of teams that almost pay Barca and Chelsea targeter, your friend Nico Williams, sorry. Now, my church with the reason in Tia Nico Williams and free Athletic Bilbao on it's now Athletic Club for one more season because of a sort of the Europa League final with Nimia Penny and your friend in Nico Williams. Now, and yet power Ed Aarons say what chance on a meeting Felix Tienta any Arsenal for I make catch on last week Barca any Chelsea for clash in the meeting. Chelsea wanted to meet Felix Tienta at the same time. Now Felix Tienta so tries to be here Barcelona for entourage in trying to broker a deal for Abentia, your friend Nico Williams. And your Barca and Kwane Peno at this point in time, Barca any 1:1 rule. It means that I said Barca yes serious operation and sign waiting out to Abentia for Nico Williams in the summer. Arsenal for have money. So over the weekend, Mikel Arteta in a pre-match press conference, Asemba Kokaye emphatically, and he said for him as a manager, he said this summer will be a big summer for them. On better all of them players, they'll buy a striker, they'll buy a winger, taking off some of the stress from a branch friend Bukayo Saka. Senebeya next season there, and you have Fiifi-Manfred and Sebia they'll go in and go and win. Chelsea have also said for the very long time, and then Martin also did some come on. Said Omope winger or yet right footed on the left hand side. We will goals kakra or assist kakra or sa creativity kakra on the wing play. Or no team chain 1:1 kakra. So unya no 1v1 or wing area no wait create separation. Net one shego crowd create chance at your mouth. It is something that Chelsea for epic giddy. And then McLeod didn't come on still. Abrantia, your friend Nico Williams, Eddie 70 million. And yet, Athletic Club de Bilbao for honestly Omope for Abrantia, your friend Nico Williams, and a huge conversation over there with respect to the number of games that Abrantia friend Nico Williams has played for Athletic Bilbao and how he wants to come in and there. And Aaron said Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and Chelsea, I believe, to be in the race for Nico Williams with his release clause around the £48.4 million, which is somewhere around £60 million, what do you call somewhere around €60 million. Of course, plus and minus, acquire 70 million here. And so Brentia, your friend Nico Williams, a movie, every Athletic Club the Bilbao and Chelsea for some in Babeka home. Matt Law also sat down. He had a conversation around Chelsea for transfer strategy. Nicholas Jackson and in talking about striker, Matt Law said Chelsea for striker list na DBA Kanwa Delap, Osimhen, Victor Gyökeres, Omunyina Chelsea for are looking at bringing them in. In fact, according to Matt Law, there is a young striker at Strasbourg, a friend of Emega, or some very good numbers part this season. Our Strasbourg on Chelsea for one air share, said go back to the end number next summer. But I don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't think that's a Chelsea for no Ecofa Brent friend of Emega every Strasbourg to bring him to Chelsea. I think that in terms of the developments at the highest level like Chelsea, I kind of 1 to 2 seasons on Strasbourg. I can develop him more, and then maybe Chelsea can buy him from team friend in Strasbourg. Now, I heard that Matt Law Church has said Chelsea in your first straight striker, if you want to see me. So maybe analysis be was and I church will say Chelsea for one shiny Nicholas Jackson on the left hand side. Now Omodia Brentia, your friend Abia will see me and I said the lap up or center forward. According to Matt Law, only Hunesa, and he thinks that Chelsea thought second straight striker. And Yadia Nicholas Jackson Grandpa set it to be second choice on the left hand side, and then they are going to sell our brand for Nicholas Jackson. I don't think so. I disagree. And but Lord Ekadisha actually say just a guesswork no. That is what his thoughts are. Of course, that is where the difference is in with people like who are reporters like Matt Law and some of us who are analysts now. I don't think Chelsea will sell him. I think that per the recruitment strategy and the sporting directors, one of the things that will be important is the importance of Nicholas Jackson or Chelsea team. They will keep him there. They will keep him as a left winger. I think that Enzo Maresca will convince him in terms of the role of a play as a left winger or partner. So when there is an out and out centre forward who he can play with to create a lot of chances and then score goals when he wants. Chelsea will not sell a brand for Nicholas Jackson, although Matt Law reported extensive conversation around why or no during Chelsea for Everton brand your friend Nicholas Jackson when they bring in a number 1 centre forward and I say a box occupying centre forward. And Maka sometimes all discussing the game in terms of positions that's when you begin to think okay, maybe that's the case. But when you discuss it in terms of roles, the role of Nicholas Jackson our partners also will be something else in terms of chance creation, keeping the weight, the hold up play and outlet from the wide area. Or be very important for Chelsea. And if you add a striker to it makes it even better because for the very first time, Chelsea when you are the box occupier, then also the chance creators from wide areas who add a lot of quality to Chelsea attack now and help them create some quality chances. I mean, I don't think only 100 million crab. I don't think Chelsea better Nicholas Jackson amount. I mean, last season I was extending the contract now. I don't think that they sell him on Chelsea for still. Rafael conversation from Italy, the ban Rafael conversation transfer roundup Calcio Messato reporting, and then you may say Rafael AC Milan for say 100 million. Rafael 100 million, and it's about Barca to be told Rafael. So Rafael 100 million, yeah. Barca can't buy Rafael. Hey, how is FC Barcelona going to buy Rafael for 100 million? It's not possible. Barca ain't me turning for 100 million, especially when now Barca everyone is to 1. But according to Calcio Messato, now someone what can I say? And then Rafael 100 million AC Milan for them, and Chelsea for have shown more interest than any other club. Some of our friend Rafael. Makacho said Jorge Mendes, the player, and then Rafael. Jorge Mendes, Krona, the player, and Pedro Neto, and João Felix. I think that in the summer, one of the engineering ways that they will try to do, and they said maybe they will try to take João Felix. Chelsea, if I catch Jorge Mendes, say, with your club, Emma João Felix, yeah, then they can take up a branch of João and Rafael on the left wing, on him to be a creative player. My problem with Rafael, and they say he lacks consistency. And when he must say also play or be consistent, or be creative chances, or be double up as a goal scorer, the 1v1 threat. And Rafael and lucky Sammy money baby, and sometimes it's the reason we hear a lot of us analysts we are not too enthused and convinced about what Rafael between their mind and the team. But away from that, here, or a quality winger, you can't take anything away from him. Ball on him, ball, a chance of Beshe. But the consistency and then the hard working ability of a player, the quality of a branch friend Rafael anyhow, and that is really what's affecting Chelsea for with respect to Abrantia your friend Rafael Leao assistant now, and Chelsea are trying to push some commit me maybe Rafael Leao deal no. If everything is possible, Rafael Leao is willing to work hard. And now Chelsea for first manager, they will win Champions League. Also Italian, we're having discussions about Chelsea current manager, your friend Enzo Maresca, and in that discussion, your friend Roberto Di Matteo, he has spoken extensively about Enzo Maresca and what didn't come up in Enzo Maresca now pre-match press conference. The big news and it's our branch friend Romeo Lavia Epra, and he's not going to be able to play much. And Chelsea are not certain when Abrantia, your friend of Romeo Lavia, are intended to come and play for Chelsea Football Club. And so who scored who.com minutes played. Romeo Lavia has played more minutes, 2,231, than any other under 20 player during the 2022-2023 Premier League season. In 2 seasons for Chelsea, about just 577 time now our Southampton about the most minutes for any under 20 player. Not a very consistent, but just 2 seasons at age 22. As a Ibra, I started a branch for Romeo Lavia, and it's normal when a player plays consistently at the youth level or at the lower level, but they be consistently. That's a Umbra. Not every time he's up there or born a boy. What happens is that when he gets to a certain age, maybe after 2 or 3 years, I feel a brand start to say, "Ebe yi in the home kaka our teams," and that's what Romeo Lavia so far as it stands now. Chelsea will have to find ways of meeting their manager branch here, your friend Romeo Lavia. Yeah, sad news, but he's an important player for Chelsea, and Chelsea just can't afford some major branch here friend Romeo Lavia Musisi. Apart from him there, Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Noni Madueke, Omunina Ubia a back for Chelsea Football Club. Ubia will be ready to play against Tottenham Hotspur, our English Premier League in a big game, and at Chelsea for an area. So Ombetinia Koroma Kofarino and if you want our English Premier League. It is not going to be easy at all. And now Bernardo Silva didn't come about Man City for score now. As Man City squad is being too old. Journalists besides that the TTT they're too old and then Bernardo Silva said, "Tell me which player, give me names." That's people that don't understand the game. I'm 30, Kovacic is 30. You are not talking about guys that are 36. We have 6 or 4 bad months, and out of nowhere we are old. Not good enough. In the last 8 seasons, we have won 6 Premier League games and 4 bad months. We are old. I'm asking you. You asked me the question and I answered. That's people that don't understand the game, never played a game, and probably don't understand a thing about football. That's what Bernardo Silva can say. Team, no, old, sir. And as it stands now, what they want to do is say just a few months, blip, and I feel be someone in the last 20 years, string as it stands, Jose Mourinho has not owned his own name. It has been property of Chelsea Football Club Limited, trademark with a UK IPO since 4th April 2005, when he was closing in on the first Premier League title. Chelsea for apatenti Jose Mourinho dia edino Jose Mourinho momdi enye abrantia your friend Jose Mourinho enye ni di abrantia your friend abrantia your friend Chelsea for and apatenti said edino enye Jose Mourinho di kra Chelsea for and have a name now almost pretty with in terms of the UK IPOs now. Of course, Barcelona CCA players almost share the highest goals. Robert Lewandowski 38 this season in all competitions. Rafinha 27, Ferran Torres 15, Lamine Yamal 13, Dani Olmo 8, Pedri 5, Fermin Lopez 5, Pablo Torre winner actually some of the most goals over there this season for Tima, your friend of FC Barcelona. I'm still waiting on some more updates for you over there. La Liga Forum, Sparta Forum, La Liga Forum. Try say ombe bomu gumbi bomu ntiasie Emma Barca Forum, Emma La Liga Forum bomu gumbi that they are strong enough and they will fight and they will make sure that things go the right way for team your friend FC Barcelona. Of course, on the other side, Chelsea are privately pushing UEFA to help them receive an increased allocation for their Conference League away clash with Liga Warsaw next week after they were handed 742 tickets to the match. And Chelsea want to say Liga was next week match na Chelsea got on just 742 tickets for on the moment. According to journalist George Nicola, Palmeiras will be due 21 million from Chelsea in the coming years if Estaval will have reached 70 games with at least 45 minutes played. We'll see if Palmeiras want a bit in a sad deal for Brentia, your friend Estaval Willian from Chelsea Football Club, and with everything that is going on from then on with respect to games of course, and then you mean there is the Derby de Madonnina, Inter Milan versus Tima, your friend of AC Milan, big one. I will Italy something that's going to be huge this weekend. There is going to be Man City versus Manchester United over there on Reece James. I won't be saying about Enzo Maresca. I say he's been amazing since he arrived. I wasn't sure what to expect when he came, but he surprised me a lot with how advanced his football knowledge is and his understanding and the way he sets up and wants us to play. He's a top gaffer. That is what Reece James can't about the manager friend Enzo Maresca. Still Liverpool for no pushy for Brentford friend Alexander Isak. Newcastle for your margins on beton, but Liverpool for will try and see if they can do a deal for Brentford friend Alexander Isak. And Arsenal, Mohamed Salah looks like we're extending the contracts now at Liverpool, and then people have seen him in the city centre at Liverpool, Liverpool gear, old teacher pictures. It looks as if said Brentford friend Mohamed Salah will stay over there for Chelsea, for team friend FC Liverpool. On the part of Real Madrid now, I will qualify the champion, the Copa del Rey final, of course. Any better pickets, and after the Barca match, we'll be back with a post-match analysis. Until then, do take care. Bye.